Dang girl. All right. You start? Okay. So, hello, and welcome to Shelby's World. Today is Wednesday, December
the
18th. Yes, it's the 18th. I almost said 19th. It's December the 18th, and it is a cool day in the capital city. It was kind of cold this morning. But it's
crisp. A crisp day.
But it's nice and cool out there today. I've actually enjoyed the weather today because it was sunshiny, but it was still cold.
Yeah, this boot weather.
Yeah,
boot weather and a nice little fur.
And so welcome back to Shelby's World. Thank you all for tuning in. As usual, we appreciate it. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and do my quote of the day. And that is, my dear friend, clear your mind of Kent, from Samuel Jackson. And that's an actor. Y'all know Sam. So I like that. We're going to talk about that a little bit more later on today in the show. But I want to do something special today, something that I've been working on anyway, putting together. But it's ready to happen now because 2020 is going to be phenomenal. I want to introduce you all to my co-host, and her name is Candace. And I'm going to let her go further into the introduction, but it's Candace Johnson-Ples. And she is Miss J2 Couture herself.
Yes.
Go ahead, Candace. Tell them a little bit about yourself today,
Hi, my
lady.
name is Candace Johnson-Ples. I'm the owner of J2 Couture, LLC. And I'm from Tallahassee, Florida, but originally from Polk County. But I was raised here in Tallahassee. And yes, we're ready to get this 2020 on the way. So I want to say thanks for Shelby for asking me to be her co-host for Shelby's World. And y'all just stay tuned. We got a lot in store. And she has a lot in store for this podcast. So, you know, come out, make sure you support what we're doing. And, hey, let's get the show started.
And share. I'm going to ask Candace a few questions so that she can tell you all a little bit about her journey on what she does and why she does it. And then we'll kind of go more into what we're going to talk about on the for the show today. So, Candace.
Yes, ma'am.
Queen Candace. We don't really call each other
by our names.
Like, this kind of feel weird. Saying her own name like this. I'm looking at her like Candace.
We always saying Queen.
Yeah,
always.
It's just Queen.
That's what it is.
I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna keep it to where we normally do to keep our comfort levels the same, because I don't want to be sounding like I'm nervous by saying her name all the time, like I don't know who I'm talking to.
Girl, look, that make me feel famous today. Yes,
Queen.
Yes.
So, Queen, what made you start J2 Couture? Where did that come from? When did this dream become a reality for you?
This dream became a reality in 2013 is when I actually started. Matter of fact, December 2013. December 10th, 2013 that I started. But it was something that I have been wanting to do since a kid, just being in the salon with my mom, my mom's friends. My mom is a licensed nail tech, so being in the salon with them on the weekends from from Thursday to Saturday night, I was in there. And just watching those ladies just do hair, her do nails, and the barber that was in there watching him, and actually just seeing them branch out to having their own businesses, their own buildings themselves that was in that building at that time, which was Back Street over there off of Gain Street. No longer exists anymore. It then became, a lot of brands then came out of that one salon. So that's how I actually, it became my passion. And playing with my dolls. Starting off playing with my dolls is how I
always do that.
As a little girl, starting off doing that and really getting into hair. Probably I started doing my own hair probably about 7 or 8 years old. I was living with my grandmother. And she put these plaits in my head, you know, the box plaits that they connect together. And it was picture day. Yeah. And I didn't like that. So from that day forward, I started doing my own hair and little ponytails. My parts weren't right. But the more and more I did it, the more I got familiar with it. And about the time I got to middle school, I had an older cousin that actually moved in with us when she graduated from high school. And they let me start doing the hair. And from my friends to where I'm at now. So hey,
and that's kind of how you get started, because most of the hairdressers you know now, they've been doing this since they were girls themselves.
Yes.
practicing on their friends, their families, and now they superstars with it. So that
to me, it has changed. I will say this: the hair industry has changed from me being that kid watching women doing and men doing hair to now, because you have your YouTube sensations. Shout out to the YouTube girls, because there's nothing wrong with that. Because hey, look, I'm a professional, but I have learned some stuff from them too, that have self-taught themselves. So it really has changed a lot, and it's funny how that's one topic we're gonna have to do. Yeah, the difference between the YouTube stylist and the licensed stylist, because it's a big debate about that now. Which one does the best hair? Really, all of them do good hair. It don't matter if you licensed or not licensed.
But we gotta definitely reach out to some YouTube sensations.
Oh yeah, most
and
definitely.
And get them on board and talk to them about it and see what they feel.
Got to. Everybody has their own opinion, and that's what it's about. Me and Shelby might even not agree on this, but hey, that's what it is.
You know,
we
I really don't
disagree.
I'm gonna have to do some research before I have that conversation.
yes,
you know, because I don't wanna be coming in sounding like, you know, biased, because I don't really know at all. So I definitely want to find out a little bit more on the difference, because I know that it just is not. I know that a certificate doesn't make you better at the task. However, experience does.
Experience does.
So,
and your customer service is really the key of you actually getting clientele and those people coming back to you. Customer service is huge, very, very huge. So
it's big anyway. It's a need.
Yeah, it's a need for that customer service.
Yes. Okay, well, I like that. I like that it kind of started from childhood, which led you to want to continue that dream. Tell us about a fear that you've had to overcome personally on your journey.
A fear that I didn't have to overcome personally with
or
my
any
journey,
you know, or any
throughout life.
Yeah.
Talking. Like just right here, what we doing now, I don't think I would have did this probably like 5 to 10 years ago.
Okay.
Now I am more social now than I probably have ever been in my life. I can honestly say that. I'm more open. Like, I'm not scared to speak what I got to say. I say it. And a couple of years ago, that just wasn't me. That wasn't me at all. But I knew that I wanted to get somewhere with my brand. So I knew that I was going to end up being the face of my own brand. So I was like, look, I got to start speaking. I got to start talking to people. And being a vendor before I actually got the brick and mortar, as we say, building. Before I even start that, just being a vendor and meeting different people really opened me up to just talking and telling people about who I am and my products. So I'm a little bit more open than I was from growing up till actually now. And I'm 38 years old. I'll be 39 January the 12th. Come on now. So that's what it is. But that was always my fear, speaking out loud. I can talk around my friends, family all day long, but just like to the public, to just strangers, so that was one of my biggest fears. But hey, not no more.
Well, that's kind of deep though, because a lot of people's dreams and goals and things get stifled due to their fears.
It does.
So as you overcame that fear, it allowed you to progress more. Because look, now because of you overcoming that fear, you're in your own shop. We're doing an interview today, the actual podcast from J2 Couture today. You have your own foundation, your place of business now, because you've decided to overcome that fear. It leads you to other places once you do those things. It's very, very
you really got to. And just meeting different people. Like the women that I have met, I can honestly say the women that I have met in the last year and a half have been amazing. Watching them, watching you, and just watching different people. And just being open to different ideas and stuff like that. And different women from all walks of life, no matter what color they are. White, brown, pink, purple, it doesn't matter. Just watching different women has really helped me overcome my fears. And people just being genuine. Like, people don't think genuine people out here. It's still a lot of genuine people that's out here. And women. And women, we got to support each other.
Yeah.
We can't say that we ain't gonna support one another. That means we ain't liking ourselves, because we all women, we all going through the same things. We just don't know that we're going through the same things
until it's talked about. I went to a Queens Link Up event hosted by LaToya Chambliss.
Okay.
And we at that event we kind of talked about that as well. Like, we don't really know who's suffering, who's going through things until you actually voice these things. You could be looking at somebody who every single day having the fight of their life, but
Yeah.
they come in with a smile on their face.
That
Their shoulders held high,
That outside appearance.
and all they're doing is hide behind a smile. And it takes a lot to continue to muster through that. So
It does.
we have to stop being such a judgmental people
Mm-hmm.
and start being able to allow people to overcome their fears, their foundations. Getting over those humps so they can create those foundations.
And us women, we are very judgmental.
We're vigilant,
Yeah,
so
like-
we can be the most hardest, nastiest people, and that alone is a plight for some people to get over. Like I can't. There's no way that I'll just walk into a room full of women and feel empowered all that first.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I feel judged and empowered. Like it's because I know some of the people in the room
Judging
already.
you.
So yeah. And then for the ones that I know that aren't, they're already there. They're empowering me because I see them. I see them in that space. But then I get these eyes of these,
Those daggers.
Yes, and it's like, oh my God. So it is that keeps us back from approaching our fears
Yeah.
and facing them.
You
So
got to embrace it.
you got to.
You have to. You really have to embrace it.
Yes.
And you know what? You really don't know what you're missing when you don't.
Yeah.
And when you don't embrace other women, like you really missing out on something.
It is, and you'll see where people are. You see the commonality of people who don't embrace change and the difference in people. Like a person who can't converse with someone, their friends remain the friends that they've started with are the same friends they are stuck with
What? Look,
because they're afraid to.
they're so afraid, or that person is the one that everybody looks up to. Everybody see what that person is doing and stuff. But to me, I had the same friends since elementary school. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I barely even talk to those girls anymore.
I'm
those
sure.
ladies, and it was scary. It was very, very scary at first because these is girls that like we did everything together. Like our parents became friends because of our
Right.
friendships, and it was scary to me at first. But I knew for me to get to where I was trying to go, I had to be open to other women because I was one of those
Yeah.
persons. One thing about me as a friend, I'm gonna ride with you all the way to the flat tires come off, everything. I'm gonna just ride with you. That's the type of friend I am, and I always was like, man, I don't need no new friends, but you do,
Yeah.
because them new friends that you get, they can elevate you to that next
that
level.
helps you.
And that helps you, and that helps you grow as a person. My grandmother always told me that everybody's not put in your life forever. Some
That's
people
right.
is just put in here for a season to elevate you to that next level, for you to elevate them to that next level,
Yep.
and that's what we gotta look. We gotta look
And
at
it
that
doesn't, and it doesn't have to be a negative thing.
at all.
Because friendships, relationships, mentorships, some of those are seasonal things.
Yeah.
And you can't let your life be defined by who's in it.
That's right.
And I think
That's
that's a lot of,
definitely right.
and I think a lot of us do that. We do not take the time to really figure out who we are and the strength of ourselves to know exactly what we don't need or what we need from the people in our lives.
Yes.
And that's something we have to touch on too later on. But
That's another.
that's
another topic. Because we can get into that one. That's a deep
Yes,
topic
that's
there, but
deep.
that is so true though.
And that kind of goes through the whole healing process of you anyway as a person, kind of like moving
Oh, yeah.
forward in life. So, but we're going to focus on today because today we are introducing our new co-host to Shelby's World. And I have one other question for you before we talked about the actual topic today.
Okay.
And yeah, our topic today is good. It's healing men healing.
That's a good one.
Because and this is only coming from the women's perspective because we are not men. We do not know the feelings. However, we do face some of the same battles.
Oh yes.
So
all day long.
yeah,
we do.
and
All day
then
long.
that alone kind of prepares us for being able to have this discussion. But my last question that I wanted to ask Queen was, what advice do you have to the next generation of stylists, of cosmeticians, or fashion
and beauty,
and everything in general?
Really, just be passionate about what you're doing. Trust God first and foremost. Trust Him. Do your little meditation, praying, whatever you do in the morning. First thing first, when you get up, that's what you need to do. Always speak positive words into your life, because I'm telling you, those words come out your mouth, they will manifest and they will come to pass. So you want to always be positive. And that's something that I even tell my kids every day. I used to tell my children every day when they was young how beautiful they were, how handsome my son is, different stuff like that. So you have to just stay positive, stay focused on you. Don't watch everybody else and what they got going on, because that can get you off track too.
Yes, ma'am.
Just stay focused on you and believe in you. And once you believe in you and what you're doing, it might be slow at times, because it's slow at times for me. And I look at that, but I'm like, you know what? I got to continue to stay the course. I got to continue to process, because guess what? I see the light on the other side of the tunnel. It's bright. It's big. It's something that probably nobody in my family ever done before, where I'm trying to go. So just stay positive and just continue to believe in yourself. And promote till you can't promote no more. It don't matter what people say. Promote yourself. And support the other stylists too. Don't look down on them or anything like that. You see them when it comes to the social media, all of that. I share other stylists stuff all the time. Look, if I like it, I like it. If she does a good job, she does a good job. So just promote other people and just have fun with it. Because it's really like, if you're passionate about it, it don't seem like work at all anyway, when you're passionate about it.
That's the truth. That is honestly God's truth. I get up and go to work every day and don't feel like I'm going to work
at all.
So I think that honestly it is about where your mind is with what you're doing. And it took all the way up. I've been working since I was 14 years old. It took until I turned 37 to be doing something that I can actually smile about daily.
And you got to remember age. I have to think back to, not to get religious, Sarah in the Bible. Look how old she was when she had that baby. You got to think back. Age don't have nothing
it's
to
not
do.
Defining mechanism.
Age don't. And I had to learn that myself, just being in Bible study and actually learning that. I was like, you know what? That's right. Age don't have nothing to do where you're going to be in life, when you're going to be elevated in life, when you're going to get to that position that you really want.
You don't know when it's going to come.
You never know when you can be 65 years old. You want to come before that, but hey, it might come then. And hey, that's just what it is.
This woman I know did not, this woman I met a while ago, and I love older people. That's who most of my conversations are with.
They just bring so much.
Look,
they so much wisdom. They just drop off on you.
Before I even say that, at the Queen's Link Up event, one of the ladies said that one of the older women there said, because it was a lot of young girls there, young women there, 21, maybe 20 and up. And she was like, and don't be afraid to get that wisdom from older people, because you guys think that just talking to older people, they're going to always just be talking about how it was back in the day, this, and this. But sometimes just hearing a story about something that happened back in the day can make your mind way more inspired than even just her defining what things are. Because when I talk to my grandmother, I walk away inspired a lot.
You're supposed to. You're supposed to.
Because I can have a conversation with my 84-year-old grandmother about something that is going on today, and she can think of a time that something that happened like that similar back in their time.
Back in her time.
You know what I'm saying?
When
so
she was the same age you are or younger.
It's a trip. But I was talking to this woman before, an older lady, and she told me, she said, there's no age on age or limit on what you're going to do or what you're supposed to be doing. Your inspiration can happen in many forms, and you can wake up at 39, 40, 45 and be inspired to do something you never thought you would ever be doing. And that's one of the most important things to me that could ever happen. Like, how can it not? So I'm happy to be able to continue to keep living. I'm happy to get older so I can continue experiencing things.
Oh, yes.
And I want to be able to continue to pass those things on, because those are jewels. It's precious.
Life get better.
Yes.
The older you get, life get better.
Yes.
That's how I look at it.
It's great advice.
Yeah, it gets better the older you get.
So, topic of the day, Queen, is the healing of men and men healing. I want to first say, I had a whole nother topic set aside for today, because it was more so going to be kind of focused on exposing my new co-host and just that, and things that we've kind of done together and things. But we can talk about all that later, because if you want to really know Queen and I've done. You can go on my social media page.
Yes, and you can check that out.
And you can see our network and our things that we've kind of shared. You know, what we inclined together on. She's in link up with us, so it's a lot that we do together already.
Yes. But
I wanted to kind of
even we became friends. That's it. Like, just by you calling X about makeup for your wedding.
Yeah, like literally.
We have mutual friends, but just from that day.
Yeah, and because before then all we did was speak.
Yeah,
it was just a conversation. But then I was like, she do makeup for real, like.
So yeah, that's look.
So that's where it started. You just never know.
You never know.
Never know. So but I wanted to talk about that today. But then I kind of wanted to lean towards something that my heart wanted me to touch on.
Gotcha.
And so when I woke up this morning, I wanted to talk about men healing, because when we're in a queen stage in life right now.
Oh yes.
We are uplifting.
A lot of us.
We are so big on uplifting ourselves and uplifting the women in our lives and the women that we're trying to reach and touch.
Yes.
But a lot of people do so much of that in vain. It's either just to seek financial gain, exposure, or things of that. It's not always a genuine thing. And which is another reason why men healing is what touched me today, because men don't have that sacred place. We can go to a friend or a mother or somebody and go and sit there and literally have a genuine conversation, be caressed, be nurtured, and walk away and feel full and fed.
Yes.
Before that day is over. But a man does not have that. When they're going through things, they either have to battle through those things on their own, they have to, or they just null and void it.
Yeah.
They try to just act like it doesn't even exist.
They have a lot of stuff.
Yes.
They do. And
I think that we have to start letting our men heal, focus on our men healing, because when we see these men jumping from relationships to relationships and handling women the way they do, handling family the way they do, women in their lives in general the way they do, is not just because they want to do that. Mm-hmm. It's not because they just want to be that way. A lot of them are that way because of things that have happened in their childhood,
with their mothers,
traumatization, and a lot of them don't want to say that. They don't want to come to terms and say, you know what, my mama really fucked me up. Like a lot of them don't want to say that because they admire this person. They have put this person on a pedestal. They have stood there, or even
she wasn't in their lives,
or even if they know that she wasn't, they don't want to voice it. Mm-hmm. Because then it's real.
Very real.
And in order for us to have good relationships and good friendships and good communication, or just conversations in general, and being able to save ourselves as a people, we always say the woman, if you heal the woman, you heal the house.
Heal the house.
We always say that.
You heal that man.
You got to heal that man too, because you got that man getting up trying to go to work every day and battle this. You got this man carrying so much on his back. Until it's weighing him down. And I was just about to say that, especially a black man.
He has so much on his shoulders, so much. From dealing with his household issues to outside his household issues. It's just so much.
And how do you as a woman love a man and love a black man and can hurt him and talk down to him and make him feel so unempowered? Those are things that we cannot do.
And you see a lot of that now.
And oh my goodness.
Oh, you see so much male bashing.
But we see that, and it's starting, and that's why. And I'm not just talking about I'm not exactly. It's not even just relationships. It's it's starting with the siblings. It's the mothers.
Yes.
Mothers. My gosh.
Do not be talking about that child's other parent like you be talking about,
or even to that child,
or to that child.
Just the things you say to that child.
Like, you have to really be careful with what you say to children. Period. No matter what age they are, you really got to be careful. And then, especially when it comes to that male, that's a part of them. That father, that grandfather, that uncle, that brother. Like you got to be careful, because they hold a lot. I can tell, like my son, I have to tell him, boy, don't be holding grudges. Because like if you say something to him,
they don't forget anything.
Yeah, he don't forget nothing. He don't forget anything. And I have to tell him, don't hold grudges. You don't want to hold that type of stuff on your heart. You want to know how to forgive people. You might not forget, but you forgive them and you move on. If you want to continue to deal with them, you continue to deal with them, but you don't have to. But that male bashing,
but then you have the women, the men, Queen, that actually don't know that they don't know that that's what's happening.
Yeah.
They're so used to negativity from women until they think it's love, or they so used to negativity from in their lives until they don't know that this is really not good for me. This is not good. This is unhealthy. And then they continue to exactly, or and then they grow up. It grows from them dealing with a mom that was abusive to them and emotionally and distressfully abusive to them.
Yes.
To them now they dating women that's just like their mom. And then and you going from woman to woman like that, and then now you done settled down with a woman that's just like your mama, and you're not happy with the situation.
Or you treating her like crap because your mama treated you like crap.
It's like a cycle. It's a vicious cycle.
And it got to stop.
Because we cannot have a healthy relationship without healthy partners.
And that's why our kids are going through what they're going through, especially our males, our young boys, because they need that father figure. And don't get it twisted. The females, the young ladies need it just as much as the young boys do, because they need to know that they love. That your father is supposed to be the first person you date as a female.
Yeah.
Like that's supposed to be the man that you
when he's
look
taking
up
you
to,
out and showing you things,
all of that
showing you
stuff.
the way you're supposed to be treated. That stuff happens young, and it leads all the way up. That's why you have so many women that suffer because they don't know what it is to even be treated well. And then then they blame everybody for it,
and you can't.
And women, and
once you get
we gotta do a whole lot of healing in our community.
And once you get to a certain age, you gotta stop blaming people though.
But they don't know that either.
That's true. That's true too.
They don't know that either.
We really,
it's a lot.
So
when you talk about healing, it's a lot. It's a lot that traumatization has caused so much in people's lives. It's a lot. You got to connect so many dots just to get to the real root of the problem. And
a lot of it stems from childhood.
And most of it does, because you grow up with this hatred, or you become a womanizer, or you just abusive, and then you wanna, or you just somebody who think you can buy your way out of everything. Like, a lot of men do that. That's a whole nother
topic, because I was just having that discussion with somebody about men that cheat versus men don't cheat, and I was like, look, from looking from family members, friends, and different people that I know that dated and that's married also. Boy, look, them gifts can get real expensive when that man out there with 2-3 other chicks. Those gifts he give you be real expensive gifts. And me and a couple of guys and a couple of females had a conversation on it. That's a whole nother conversation in itself, that one, because that one can be touchy, but we know a lot of it's happening and why it's happening. And that's why I'm saying, like, so my advice on the portion of them healing is alone time. You got to step back out of relationships, people, friendships, families, get to know you,
that are not good for you.
Yeah, and
get to know you. And take some time for yourself. And that means sometimes you got to say, okay, I can't do no fucking this month. You got to do that. Like you might got to
nothing.
Right. You
nothing.
Might got
no alcohol, no smoking, no nothing.
Or because some of y'all been doing it so long, you got to take your time with it. Maybe you got to wean
yourself
off. Maybe let's start off with 7 days of abstinency, and then 7 days of no other interferences that can make me want to do those things.
It'll open
because
your mind.
When you start cleansing yourself and actually taking the time to love on you, you realize just how much fun you are by yourself. You don't have to have all this entertainment, and to me,
that's
honestly,
money. That's money. Half of that's money. Like you'll start saving too once you start doing that. You'll be like,
start saving.
I was spending this amount of money on this type of entertainment.
Right, trying to date and take people out on these expensive dates and
be to yourself for a while.
But in all honesty, the healthiness is first just starting, and a lot of us don't know how to not be around other people. So when you gotta take some time to really start encouraging yourself and just spending some time with yourself, loving on yourself, taking yourself out on dates.
Yes. Go to the movies by yourself.
Yeah,
Go
just
to
treating
dinner by
yourself
Just
good.
treat your own self.
And that'll definitely start the healing process. And then as things start to blossom for you as you're healing, there's nothing wrong with therapy. There's nothing wrong with going to talk to a counselor, because let me tell you something.
That helps.
You can open up 100% more to somebody who ain't judging you.
That don't know nothing
That
about
knows
you.
zilch about
They just
you.
sitting over there in the chair, you sitting over there in the other chair, and you just go and start speaking. They just gonna sit there, write it down.
It's so much easier sometimes to just like literally not talk to a friend or not talk to a family member. Go and talk to somebody, and your insurance most of the time will cover that. So look into it. Not trying to make everybody feel like they're crazy, but it is like going to release some of that is important. Or
get a journal and start
jotting. Oh my God, that's really
writing stuff down.
I got journals and journals full of stuff, because I start a notebook and be writing, and then going to another notebook and be writing. Like I'm a constant thinker too, so I do a lot. I've always been. I'm the oldest of my family, so I've always been somebody who like to spend time by myself.
By yourself, yeah.
So poetry, yeah. I write little small stories, anything to take my mind off things that are bothering me, so that I can have a release.
And if you don't write, get you a camera and just talking to the camera.
Talking to
the camera yourself.
Talking to your phone. Every last one of our phones have audio recording. You can just talk to yourself and get some things out, and then 3 days later you might go back and listen to that message and realize you was tripping. It might take that. Like,
it might just take that.
Like, man, was I really riding here tripping like that?
Yeah, you was tripping. You was tripping. You was tripping.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so they may seem like funny things, but they're really helpful. These are helpful things to kind of help you as you're going through.
Before you got married, how long did you have you ever had that? I know I went probably 2 years.
The single stage?
Just single, not dating, no sex, no nothing. Like, just I got so in tune with my spiritual walk that, man, baby, look, I was like, date who? What? So when I got married, people were surprised because they know I wasn't dating. But this was somebody that I knew that wanted to marry me when we first started dating.
Right.
But we ended up separating for 2 years, and that was healing for me, because I found out who Candace was as this adult. Because I went from my husband, when I was dating him, went from my kid's dad straight to him. So I didn't have no break in between or anything like that.
And so then when y'all had
that breakup for two and a half years, man, I learned so much about me. And that's how J2 Couture got started. That's how I got started. Just that breakup. But I got to learn who Candace was.
That was good, because that was helpful for you.
And I don't know. I think men, I don't know, because
a lot of men
don't take breaks. I didn't see men go from woman to woman.
That's why they got so many spiritual connections with people, because they don't take breaks.
Soul ties real.
Yeah, that soul ties real.
Soul ties real.
I had a year in between my husband before we started dating. And then, but relationship wise, I was single for 4 years.
See?
And yeah,
it worked.
But in my single time though, I never had I can't say never. Within that, I had a full year, 2 years of where I had time for me to be single and just to be me and my children.
Yeah.
And kind of enjoy that time. Because
you can see a difference in your kids.
Yeah. They're very happy.
Yeah.
Because they get that full focus of you. And it's because not only that, you're not stressed out about other things, and you're not allowing so many different things to step into your space.
You, them, and what you got
going on,
what you're trying to do in life. That's what it's about. Men need to heal. For the men to heal, that's how the women get there.
Because who are we doing all this for? When women out here chasing and getting pretty and all these things, beyond the fact that we trying to look pretty for ourselves, who are we really doing this for? Attraction. So
the C.
Yeah. So if men start actually incorporating what change their views on what they want in women.
Yes.
And stop making it so easy for a woman to be any type of woman. I want this standard of a woman, and that's what I want, and I deal with that.
And I deal with,
and I'm not going to
even
worry
about all the
this
other
type
stuff.
of woman.
Yeah, all the other stuff that she might have going on too. Like
once they start incorporating that and using that to kind of like standardize what they're looking for and what they want, I think things would be so much easier.
Better.
Like
it'll be easier.
We
everybody.
We gotta have these conversations and talk to each other. And we gotta be friends first. Stop just jumping in,
friends
dating
is
and
so
now
important. Being friends with somebody is so important.
Yep.
So important. Being that person friend, getting to know that person. Sometimes you just need to sit on the phone and just talk. Don't see each other. None of that.
And
just
I miss that. I miss that. Like I miss that when you actually want to get to know each other, know people. I miss hearing people say that. Like now they be like, "Oh, we met through Instagram, and we be talking through Instagram."
I don't think I could meet somebody through Facebook or Instagram and be talking about actually like dating them. Like what? Look, what? Even if I told you the story how me and my husband actually dated, actually met each other, it was at the auto parts store. I walked into the store and it was him and his cousin, and one of his cousins worked there. Didn't know them at all, and I was like, these niggas better not say nothing to me. I said that because and I don't like to use the N word, but that's what I was saying in my head because I was going through it with my kids at the time, breaking up with him, and I was like, I ain't got time for no man. I'm coming here to buy a car battery. I ain't got time for all this. And him and his cousin had to give me a jump. And both of them end up giving me their number, but I end up calling Tony.
Both of them.
Both of them.
And that's something.
And I end up calling Tony, and we talked on the phone. Like, man, when I talked to him on the phone that same day, it was like I've been knowing this person all my life.
That's how it was. And I knew Darian a long time. I knew him way back from school, but we didn't ever have conversations. But when we started conversing like that, it'd be them like all night conversations where you fall asleep on the phone. I was like, people still do this.
Look, that's that high school, the middle school, high school type of stuff.
But yeah, but I don't hear that when I hear people courting each other. I don't hear that. I don't hear we sit on the phone. Yeah, I'm like texting. How you? First of all, the conversation got to be dry and dead because we mad. Got to be hollering at each other through text. Because there's no understanding through text like that. Like you could say one sentence and a person can misconstrue that the whole conversation.
Like when you sounded angry when you sent me this text. When you angry when you sent this text, and they be serious. And sometimes it does come off. It does come off that way. But that text this younger generation. Hey, power to y'all, but I need a conversation. I need you to pick up that phone, dial my number. Hey girl, how you doing? Look, talk to me. I need to hear your voice.
Yes.
Cause that text, and don't be texting me no paragraphs.
Right.
I don't text no paragraphs, but men really need to they need to take that break for themselves to get to know who you are. And that's a lot that they missing out on.
And it's a lot, period. That even with themselves, I think if they get to know themselves a little bit more, they know what they want to offer a woman. They know what they need from anybody that they want, or what they want from anyone in their lives. You ain't just accepting anything just because that's what you used to.
And you don't want to just accept anything.
Exactly.
You don't want to do that.
And that brings me back again to my quote of the day, my dear friend. Clear your mind of can't. So as you're going through your healing process, my brothers, take the time to focus on you, not beating yourself up for things that you've had to endure,
and where you're not at in life right now.
Yes. Sometimes it takes the right people in your lives, and some of y'all surrounded by negative people that you think just because they're your family or they're your old time friends, they love you. Everybody don't have the best interest for you. Yeah. So now as you're going through this healing process, start separating those people. Start setting yourself apart because you're special for a reason. Some of y'all are supposed to be on pedestals, and you lowering yourself to a lower position in life just to please everybody else that's around you. So my brothers, start healing yourself. And I do appreciate y'all for listening. I want to take the time again to say welcome to Candace. Y'all go in the comment section. As always, y'all definitely got to do that. Go in that comment section. Tell me what y'all thought about today's show.
Feedback is always
give us some
good,
feedback.
Bad, it don't matter.
Utilize it.
Yes, give us the feedback. We need that.
And when you see the podcast, you'll see all of her social handles. We'll definitely have all that information on there so you can follow her, learn all about what Miss J2 Couture is doing. The website will be updated with her information on there, so you guys can definitely go find her. And again, I want to tell y'all, we are not defined by who is in our lives.
Definitely.
And on that note, I like you. I love you. You all have a great rest of the week and enjoy your evening. And we probably won't do another show next week because Wednesday is Christmas I believe.
Day.
So Christmas Eve or the day after is probably when we'll come back to you all. But I'll check y'all later. Y'all take care. Candace.
See ya.
All right.
I think that was good.
That was great.
That was good.
That was a great intro show.